Hi, Nicola Grace, the Mission Mentor here, and I want to share with you what happened to me in my business in 2012 because it really highlights what has been going on in the business world that not a lot of people really can get to grips with. But you and I in the consciousness movement, we know exactly what's going on. Most importantly, it highlights how important your mission is to the world at this time in a pivotal moment in human history. So prior to 2012, I was working as a psychic business owner, and most people came to me wanting to know how to make more sales, how to market certain products, should they go in this direction or that direction, is their staff stealing from them, do they need to do drug testing, all the kind of questions you would normally take to a psychic to figure out what's going on in your business. But in 2012, it literally shifted as we went into that first week in the new year. I was working out of a really lovely place in my office in Byron Bay in Australia. You may have heard of it if you're not Australian. And it's a mecca for people with higher consciousness and people who love the ocean as well. And here I am working out of my office, and I started to get business owners coming to me asking different types of questions, saying, what am I really here to do? So I wrote a book called Discover What You're Here to Do. And then I got asked, what's my purpose? I'm making a lot of money, but it's lost its flavor. I feel like I want to give back. I want to do something that is making a difference, but I'm scared to lose my job or leave my current business to do that because I won't make enough money. So people were coming to me wanting to know what their purpose was and what their life direction was in ways that was not happening prior to 2012. And this was happening at the level of corporate executives coming to me and business owners. About 95% of my clientele in those days were business owners, and there was about 5% that were corporate executives looking to transition into a business. So I believe a huge shift happened in 2012, even though we didn't have an Armageddon. But we did have an Armageddon out of here because there were people wanting to get out of the dissatisfaction of working their business and working their career that wasn't giving back. People woke up in droves, I believe, that year to go, oh, it's time for me to wake up, it's time for me to step up to my higher purpose, and so therefore there's been this huge shift of people wanting to do purpose. Now back then, I was one of the few teachers online that was teaching how to find your life purpose. There was Jean Houston, who is our founder in the consciousness movement area, and there were a few other people scattered around teaching life purpose. But all of a sudden, after 2012, it exploded because the demand exploded. People really wanting to live fully in alignment with what it is that they're really here to do. Now, here's a really exciting bit. At the end of the year, I looked back in my calendar and I counted up all the consultations that I had done for people that year, and I'd done over 1,000. So over 1,000 life purpose consultations for people. And they say scientifically that when you do a clinical trial, you need at least 1,000 to get a general overview of what's going on in the population. So I really had this unofficial survey going on. So I sat down and went, well, what did I learn from that? Because there's got to be patterns and there's got to be some really good juicy information that I could take from this and then use that to help people. Now, during that time that I was doing it, I'm a big believer in the butterfly effect or the ripple effect. I actually began to see ripples. And as an intuitive visionary, what happens is my mind opens up and all of a sudden I see pathways, potential futures for people. And I go, oh no, that's not a good pathway for you to go down. Well, this is good. And I can sort of future pace and remote view, see what's going to happen if you take that pathway. So as I started looking at the ripple effect of all of the clientele that I had that year who discovered their life's mission and then started to inject it into their business or create a new business altogether or come out of corporate world and go into a business, the ripple effect, I started to see massive change and peaceful change, not the change that we've got right now, which is really agonizing. And as everybody was stepping up into their higher purpose and their higher mission, I sat back and this vision appeared and all of a sudden the new earth appeared. And I went, wow, that's how we're going to get the new earth. We're going to get the new earth by doing what we were coded to do, by stepping up to our life's mission. So if you're in business, you can add your life mission to your business or you can transition into another one, because that's what I did for people that year, help them with that transition. And then as we all do that, we begin to transform the world. And this is where I developed this quote that I have, you may have seen it online already, where I said, when we transition out of making money just for the sake of money to making money by making a difference, we will not only transform the world, but we will transform the monetary system itself. And as we infuse our light, our consciousness, our purpose, and our mission into this current economic model, a great big huge shift occurs in that model, and it gets infused with a lot more prosperity for all, a lot more equity, and a much better society. And who knows where we go to from there, but it's really exciting. So you have a role to play in that vision. That vision was for every human being on the planet. Now, I've consulted with people from Sudan, in the United States, in Europe, in Australia, in New Zealand, in Hong Kong, China. My clients come from all over the world, and Byron Bay is a mecca for people coming from all over the world, and I got to consult with them for a year, and I did not see anyone who did not have that ripple effect. In other words, everybody had that ripple effect, a part to play in transitioning our world. And I'm really big on monetizing your mission, because it means you can get to focus on your mission 100% without having to do something completely different to pay the bills. So we marry mission and purpose with the money, and we're going to transform humongously. I love that word, humongously. We're going to transform this world humongously, and I'd really love for you to be a part of it. So if you haven't already signed up for my training webinar that's coming up, it's complimentary, there's no cost to it. I hope that you decide you will. You can click the link below to go to the time preference that's going to suit you, and I'll talk a lot more about my Magnificent Changemakers Blueprint and my vision for how you're going to help me transform the world. Lots of love. See you. Bye for now.